Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make coq au vin, a very French fancy sounding dish, but in reality, it's a rustic chicken dish. But first, a shameless plug. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And that's for all you people who shut my video off before the end. I gotcha. But anyways, rustic chicken dish. It is actually chicken braised in red wine, and it is easy, it is yummy, and still very elegant enough to impress. So, enough talking. Let's get cooking. So the recipe calls for 4 chicken thighs and 4 chicken legs. My chicken leg package came with 5, so I have 5. And to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of chicken bone broth, and 1.5 cups of red wine. I'm using Cabernet, but you can use any full-bodied red wine that you want, as well as some Brandy, but you can use cognac as well. 1/4 cup. And then just make sure your chicken is down into the marinade. And then we're going to set that off to the side and let it sit in the marinade while we prepare our veggies. So the recipe also calls for 4 medium carrots, but I'm lazy, so I got a bag of baby rainbow carrots and I just cut them in half like this. I used almost the entire bag. I think I left like 3 behind, so use the whole bag. Next, we'll cut up 1 large onion. The traditional recipe actually calls for 1 medium onion and 8 ounces of pearl onions, but when I found out I had to peel those pearl onions each one, I said, mama, we're using 1 large onion, cutting it thick, and we'll leave out the pearl onions. If you're a traditionalist and want to follow the original recipe, then you need to purchase 8 ounces of pearl onions, peel them, and set them off to the side. Next, we'll cut up into bite-sized pieces 4 slices of bacon. So now just place that in a bowl and also put that off to the side. Now I'm going to be serving my coq au vin with some roasted fingerling potatoes, but you could certainly serve this with some nice crusty French bread. All I'm doing is halving my potatoes. I'm going to toss them with some olive oil, salt and pepper to taste, garlic powder to taste, and parsley, and pop them in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes, and they're done. So back to our chicken, I'm going to take some paper towel and put that down on my cutting board, and then all you have to do is remove the pieces from the red wine, put them on the paper towel, and you're going to pat them dry. Try to get as much as the excess moisture off the chicken because we're going to head over to the stove and start to sauté it. Reserve that wine marinade. That's our sauce. So here on my stove, I have a medium saucepan and I'm putting the heat up to medium-high, and now we'll add that bacon. You're going to want to add your bacon to a cold pan. It'll render out more of the fat. So now all you have to do is brown your bacon. Once your bacon is browned, just remove that into a clean bowl and set that off to the side. So believe it or not, I forgot to season my chicken with salt and pepper prior to bringing it over to the stove. So make sure you do that to taste both sides, and then you can add the chicken to your pan. If you have to cook it in batches, like myself, do that. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. Cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes on one side, and then turn it over and cook the other side. Now I remembered to season my chicken. And yes, I'm using a grease screen. That never works, but it makes me feel better. Once your chicken is browned on both sides, you can remove it from the pan and set that off to the side, and then just continue on until all of your chicken is browned on both sides. Do not cook the chicken all the way through. Alrighty, so now all of our chicken is browned on both sides. So next I'll take some paper towel and just blot some of the excess oil out of the bottom of the pan. And to that, I'm going to add our carrots and our onions. Now just give that a quick stir and add some salt and pepper to taste. Allow your carrots and onions to sauté until they become fragrant and the onion becomes translucent. Then you can add 4 cloves of minced garlic. Now just stir the garlic in and allow that to cook for another minute. Once the garlic is cooked for a minute or 2 and it becomes fragrant, then you can push your vegetables to the side and add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And then you just want to sauté that in the pan for a minute or 2 and then combine it with all the vegetables. Next, we'll take our wine marinade and carefully add that to the pan and just stir that in. Once your sauce comes up to a light simmer, you can add your browned chicken back to the pan. Next, we'll add 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme. Now we're going to cover our chicken and lower the heat to a simmer and allow our chicken to cook for 20 minutes. So while our chicken is cooking, let's go and make our beurre meunier, which basically is just some butter mixed with either flour or cornstarch to thicken our sauce. So here I have 2 tablespoons of cut up butter, and to that I've added 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I've cut it or mixed it into the butter, like this. So now that 20 minutes have passed, I'll remove the lid and then remove the chicken once again, because to that I'm going to add 1 ounce carton of sliced portobello mushrooms. This would also be the time that you would add those pearl onions if you're going to follow the traditional recipe. And next we'll add the beurre meunier, which is the cornstarch and butter mixture, and stir that in. That's going to thicken our sauce. And then you're going to want to taste your sauce for seasoning. I felt like mine needed a little salt and pepper, so I went ahead and added some to taste. And now I'll try it again, and it actually turns out to be perfect. So now I'm going to add my chicken back to the sauté pan with all the juices. And finally, that browned crisp bacon, I'm going to add that to the pan, as well as 2 more teaspoons of fresh thyme for garnish. Now our dish is done, so let's shut off the heat and plate it. Well, there it is, guys, coq au vin, a rustic yet elegant dish. I hope you guys try and enjoy the recipe. And you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And as always, guys, until next time,